Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and it is my absolute honor to welcome Markus Klinko to the show. He is a world-renowned fashion photographer. I am so excited for you to be here with us.
Well, I'm excited to be here. This is so fun.
Right? I mean, you've shot Beyonce, Lady Gaga, David Bowie, Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, Mary J.
Everybody.
Blige. What?
Basically,
I did
on and on
5
and on.
album covers for Mary J. Blige.
5.
Starting with The Breakthrough back in 2005. It was an incredible meeting. I got a message that she wanted to meet. I met her at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She pulled up in a yellow Ferrari. It was like right out of a music video. You know, she told me the story of the album, and you know, it was an amazing moment. And a couple, 1 week later, we shot it. It became the biggest selling album of her career. It was huge all over Sunset Boulevard, ginormous billboards. And it was, one of those big moments. I had a few of those big moments, but, she is definitely one of the pop culture milestones that I'm really proud of. And that I am showing next week at Moosh Gallery.
At the Moosh Gallery, the exhibit is opening. It's one of the most anticipated exhibitions in Beverly Hills. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'm extremely excited about this exhibition because since 2016, my exhibition called David Bowie Unseen has been touring the world. It opened first at Art Basel in Miami, and then went to Switzerland, to LA. It opened in LA, Paris, Tokyo, Sydney. It keeps going. It's reopening at Art Basel, Switzerland, also next week again. So my new show, 2000s, is a little bit of a different focus because it's not just David Bowie. He's also in that show, 2000s, because I shot his 2001 album called Hidden, and also his GQ cover, very famous GQ cover with the wolves. And at this point, of course, I'm fortunate because if someone doesn't know what I do, or what we do, I should say, because now I work with my wonderful photo partner, Koala. And we're a duo now, but before I shot everything on my own. So until about 3 years ago, I shot everything myself. But now we're a team, which also helps with the chemistry and the magic, because sometimes she's a very young Chinese American, very cool girl, so she will connect to some people better than me. I will connect to others. So we work that magic. We both shoot at the same time, but not at that time. At the time, I shot everything. So
is that what makes for the best pictures? Is it the chemistry that you have?
100%.
Yeah, it's the chemistry.
If there's no chemistry, it's just an exercise, The light, the camera, the angle. I mean, cameras are important, and I'm very passionate. I'm a nerd. I work very closely with Fujifilm, who are actually sponsoring this exhibition. I help them develop cameras. I, test prototypes. I write articles about equipment and cameras, and I'm with my vinyl gloves on my knees and screwdrivers. I used to have huge teams of assistants. I still have them, but now I ask them, can you get coffee? Can you help the makeup artists with their bags? And I like to do the lighting myself. I've become much more hands-on. There's a shift in the industry, so, but the magic, let's say we're doing a photo shoot with you, which you're going to do, right?
Oh, absolutely,
So,
I promise.
So, we'll shoot you for a cover or a cosmetic campaign or something like that. So, see, we already know each other. We're already talking about it, and that's how it works. It's not a chance when we work with celebrities, music stars, Hollywood stars, or models. It's always based on something. We work a lot with mood boards, references. I love referencing the 70s, for instance. I love the work of Helmut Newton,
love the 70s. What a good 70s pick.
Okay, I will tell you a secret. I've been talking about the 2000s so much because my show is called 2000s. So people say, oh, the 2000s and this and that and the bling and everything. And I need to remind people that when it was the 2000s, let's say, 2003, and all we did was referencing the 70s at that time. So now people thinking of the 2000s, but this whole bling, disco ball, all of that stuff, that's a 70s reference. I was 15, I was in Paris busy studying the harp. I was a classical harpist.
Really?
Yeah, I was a classical concert harpist. I was signed to EMI. I released a few records on EMI Classics. One was the last one was the Paris Opera Orchestra. So I had a shift from being, in front of the camera as a musician on stage to becoming a photographer. But
what was the catalyst for that shift?
A hand accident.
Oh my God!
Yes.
My
so
gosh.
when you mention, I had a weird thing with my thumb, and I couldn't play anymore. I had to cancel 4 years of tours that were all booked. I was with Columbia artists. And, it was, for 3 weeks I panicked. But because I had been the subject myself of photography, I've never done photography. That's 25 years ago, I look so young, but I'm just kidding, just having fun. But
It's so amazing.
25 years ago, it was the summer of 1994. I was in this situation. I went to see doctors, and I had this epiphany. I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I realized my childhood dream. I was very young. I wanted to be a famous classical musician, have records, play these big concerts, and I did it. At that point, I had done that, not for 50 years, but for a few years. I had a really good run. And I decided I'm going to become a photographer. And I locked myself into my loft with a mannequin, and I practiced 10 hours a day. I was used to that with a camera. A famous lab in New York, they thought, this guy's insane. Every day I brought in film tests, clips at the time, everyone's shooting on film, of a mannequin. And they were like, this guy has a fetish or something. And I was like asking for advice. Should I pull the film a little? Should I do it? And I was like, okay, whatever, And a month later, I got an agent in Paris, and, things took off. I was helped. People at Vogue, people at GQ, they knew me as a musician, and they were like, okay, let's give this guy a break, And so things started taking off. But it really started taking off in 2001, when Iman and David Bowie basically sort of gave me their first opportunities. And that's some of these images are in the show. And that's also when I started working with Fujifilm. And so what you see next week, to the public, it opens on the 15th at Mush. What you see there is so many years of so much intense work, And I should mention, we have the CFDA, the organization that's behind New York Fashion Week. All the fashion designers in America are part of the CFDA. They're partnering for this exhibit, and of course, the gallery is handling all of the art sales and stuff, but there's also a big online auction for
And
the
Becky
CFDA.
G will be hosting.
Yes, so can we talk about Becky?
Yes.
Because
We're
she's
running out of
incredible.
time, unfortunately, but we want to find out more about where they can find you, where they can go to this event.
Mush Gallery. It's on North Beverly Drive, very close to here. And we shot Becky G. She's the host. She is this incredible hot new pop star, and people will discover those photos. It's also going to be on Galore Magazine. Galore Magazine is our media partner. So we shot the cover. It's coming out on Tuesday with Becky G. So tune in and.
So exciting.
very
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. We
We're
look
going to be
forward
there.
to celebrating with you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for being here, for
Of
sharing your
course.
Such a
time, your
pleasure.
talent.
It was
Really.
so fun, and we have to arrange our photo shoot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll debut
And
at
you
Good Morning
guys too.
LaLa.
We're in.
Yeah, you should do one for Good Morning LaLa.
Oh,
There you go.
absolutely.
We put the three of you on the cover.
The next
and
cover
then-
of this magazine.
Of course.
Oh, thank you so much, Marcus. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more at Good Morning La La Land.